if you draw at the Etihad against City and you don't beat them in the title race, those dropped points are probably the least important that you should be looking at.
I give Arsenal a bit of criticism last year for not coming to the Etihad and trying to win. When Trossard got sent off, people were celebrating like, oh, he's been sent off. And I was like, I think that's just made it even worse.
As a football fan, do you want to be seeing that given?
The Arsenal mission was defend what you've got, and the City mission was try and get something.
That was the longest half of football I have ever sat through.
As a City fan, I'm disappointed not to get the win, but I'm taking it.
Welcome back to Settle the Score. Man City 2, Arsenal 2. I'm back here with Big Steve. What a just a ridiculous game. That don't even know where to start, don't know how to feel. One of the craziest games I've seen. But Steve, what's your main takeaway?
Yeah, probably the same as you. Bit of a strange one coming out. Obviously, to get a last-minute goal to snatch a point, I'm going to be happy with that. I am disappointed to not get 3 points because I felt like, the onus was on us to get the points. But we started well with the Haaland goal. But then I feel like the Rodri injury just sort of caused turmoil in the whole camp. And then next minute we find ourselves 2-1 down, and then obviously the red card, etc. we're going to talk about. But then the second half was like, basically, I think the Arsenal mission was defend what you've got, and the City mission was try and get something, because at the minute we're not got nothing. So yeah, it was a strange one. The referee wasn't the best as well, and I don't know how to feel about it, but crazy.
Yeah, I think that's it. Everyone's just a bit like, I just don't know how to feel. It's mad. I mean, the goals themselves, the two Arsenal goals, obviously some of the City players complained. I don't know if you've seen the replays back. Obviously, you were there. Did you have any complaints about?
To be honest,
those two goals?
I didn't. I've not seen any replays, but not in the City end. I didn't hear anybody really saying too much. Calafiori's, to me, I didn't know whether he crossed it or he did a worldie. I didn't really know. And then we knew Arsenal. We knew Arsenal was dangerous on set pieces. So I was like, I don't want to get caught off a set piece because we know the dangerous on set pieces. So to get caught on a set piece, I was like, here we go. And then I thought it was going to be tough with 11 men, because I felt like Arsenal was going to protect that 2-1. And then when Trossard got sent off, people were celebrating like, oh, he's been sent off. And I was like, I think that's just made it even worse and even harder to do, because Arsenal now think, right, we've got 10 men. We've just got to defend. And the second half performance got no problem with the way Arsenal defended. Thought it was very, very good. And to defend against Manchester City for that long is so hard. I think a lot of the City fans were more frustrated with the time wasting from Rayo and a bit of I've got cramp, I ain't got cramp. But listen, that's the dark arts of the game. The 2-1 up at the Etihad with 10 men, they're going to do that. But it was just fortunate that we managed to get through near the end. I felt like we were getting frustrated, long shots, Kovacic, Diaz, Akanji, people who are never going to score them shots, pinging them in. And then, the King of the North, John Stones, pops up at the end and sent us home a little bit happy.
Yeah, you could definitely have done with Rodri and or De Bruyne on the edge of the box for those shots rather than your Ruben Diaz. And it did feel like towards the end, you were getting to that point where you couldn't keep taking shots from that range and giving us a goal kick and letting us eat another minute and a half. So it was weird to watch. And obviously from an Arsenal fan's perspective, it was like that was the longest half of football I have ever sat through, when your team is just constantly defending and there's no respite. So yeah, I mean, for us, I think it's weird looking at social media tonight. You think Arsenal had lost the game and that we were the ones that had 11 men and you'd had 10 men, and people are criticising the way that we went about it. But if we tried to stay open in that second half, I think you saw even the way that you played in the first half or the first 15 minutes. You were creating chances against 11, against 10. You'd have torn us apart. We'd have lost them. Everyone would have said it was naive. So yeah, I think the way that we played was fine. On the red cards, obviously, I think it's ridiculous. For you, letter of the law, it probably is a red card. As a football fan, do you want to be seeing that given?
The thing, what I've got with it, I thought he'd give it for the foul, We come out to the second half, they put on the screens, it was given for kicking the ball away. If you look at it now,
Yeah.
Arsenal have had 2 disappointing results this season and dropped 4 points. In both games, you've had players sent off for kicking the ball away. So, you know, that's on the players. Listen, it's stupid, and you're never going to be able to police that rule because someone else is going to do it in a game and not get booked. Someone's going to do it in a game and get sent off. It's very weird, and it opens itself up to criticism. If he'd have said, I give it for the foul, then yellow card, fine. I get that. He's gone in the back of him, whatever. It's a foul. But it's just frustrating. And like you say, I feel like some of these referees, they try and make it about them, you know, and his inconsistencies today was wild all across the pitch. But like you say, they created the situation, and the mission was for Man City second half, let's try and break this Arsenal team down. And the mission for the Arsenal boys was, let's hold on to this lead. And it was a bit wild, and it was a bit crazy, and it was a bit frustrating. But I feel like if Arsenal was about to celebrate that wildly if they'd have won that, because they would have dug in deep, got 3 points at the Etihad. They would have said, "Oh, we got to 3 points with 10 men, etc., etc." So City had to get something. They had to stop that, and for us, we did, and we got it, and we came out the ground, and I feel like everyone's just sort of happy, and yeah, I think everyone's just sort of happy. I think before the game, people would have took it. If you'd have said to Arsenal, will you take a draw at the Etihad? They said, yeah. I'd have probably said no. But at second half, at 2-1 down, I'm thinking, best defence of Europe for me, Arsenal. I'm thinking, I'll probably take a point now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, 100%. That is now 4 games in a row that you've not got a result against Arsenal, or you've not got a win against Arsenal. Is that something? And in fairness, in none of those games have you kind of massively deserved a win either. You've not massively outplayed us. Is that becoming a bit of a concern? And does that make you feel like the title race is really?
Not really, because I think the 10 games before that, I think City won every one. So if we're looking at games, it's fine. The only thing I'm interested in is who lifts that trophy in May. Arsenal can beat us home and away as long as City lift the trophy in May. Aston Villa beat you last season home and away. Doesn't make them a better side than you. But Manchester City, we've won 4 leagues in a row. We'll take the point. We keep on moving. I feel like it's a good result for Arsenal, because if we'd have won, you'd have been 5 behind us already, early doors. And I feel like that's tough. I feel like now it keeps it interesting again. But listen, Arsenal are a good side. They're a great side. And they proved that today. Another day, they hold out and they get a win at the Emirates with 10 men. Everyone's going crazy for Arsenal. So as a City fan tonight, I'm disappointed not to get the win, but I'm taking it.
Yeah, I think that's the overriding feeling. It's just weird because 100%, if we'd lost that game and we'd been 5 points behind after 5 games, that's a real mountain to climb. And so, we got the draw, having had 10 men, and yet it still kind of feels disappointing just because of the way that it ended. But I think it sets up the rest of the season very nicely.
I just listened to Kyle Walker.
I think we are going to go toe to toe again.
And basically, he said the problem with the goal, the first one, the referee had called him and Bukayo Saka over to have a word. He came over, they had a word. He said, you need to calm the players down. He said, I'm walking back, telling the players to calm down. They've took it quickly. And he said, the ref never gave me an opportunity to get back. He said, if I'd have gone to the ref off my own back, then it's on me. He said, but I was told to go to the ref, so he should have made sure I was in the position. And apparently he said the referee has admitted he could have gave him more time. So I get why some of the players are frustrated with that. But I thought the ref lost control in the first 4 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Straight off the bat, obviously, Rodri goes down after 4 seconds trying to get Havertz sent off for there was nothing in that really. And I think from that minute, then Haaland clatters into Saliba. And I don't think he had control of the game throughout. But I mean, that Walker one, for me, I think Walker's making an excuse there. If you actually look, by the time we played the ball, Walker's in line with the rest of your defenders and he's facing the play.
Yeah, I've not seen it yet. I've not seen it. I've just heard it on the radio. I've not seen it.
Yeah, I think Yeah, I think when you watch it back, I think you'll probably be more frustrated with Kyle Walker because I think he's just switched off a bit, and he did for the goal from the corner as well. Gabriel was his man, and he lost him. So yeah, I don't know. I was surprised you played him, to be honest. I really thought you'd play Rico Lewis.
I didn't think Walker had a bad game, to be honest.
Instead of Kyle Walker.
I think he went for experience with it, but yeah, it's tough when we see teams come to the Etihad all the time and they sit in deep and we try and break them down. But that second half was a tough watch. Probably for you guys thinking, oh, they're going to get through, but for us thinking we're not going to get through. So yeah, it was a mad game. I've not seen a game like that for many a year.
No, I mean I've never I just can't really think of a time that especially a top team has gone down to 10 men and just fully parked the bus. I mean, we did park the bus. We brought on Ben White for Saka. We were playing a 6-3-0 formation with 5 centre backs, and it very nearly worked. And if it had worked, obviously we'd have been praising it more highly. But it's no, it is what it is. The season is set up well. Arsenal have got a couple of really nice fixtures up next, so we'll see how it develops.
No, listen, no complaints from me. Near the end there, it was just a relief to get John Stones to get something. And we keep on moving. Early in the season, lots of games to play. We just got to keep going.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.